If you could have any 5 toys from your childhood years, what would you choose? I know what I would pick, so let's find out right now. Hello YouTube, my name is Bobby and welcome to the brand new Trash Not Toys YouTube channel, where I am on a journey to reacquire all of the toys from all of my childhood years and maybe some new ones too. I was born in the mid-80s and with 4 younger siblings, I have played with or owned all of the big toy lines that you will know about throughout the years and all of the ones that have got that real nostalgia about them. Since then, I've rebought some of them, I've sold some of them, I've lost some of them, but now I'm committed to rebuilding a collection that takes me back to that childlike sense of wonderment I once had. And if you would like to join me on that journey, please do think about hitting that subscribe button down below there. Anyway, on to my 5 most wanted vintage toys. And they're probably the ones that I'll be looking to acquire first of all on this journey that I'm embarking upon. So I didn't choose these because they were really rare or really valuable or anything like that. It's purely nostalgia and things I remember from my childhood. Perhaps some that I didn't have, perhaps some that I did have. But these are the 5 that I would want. And let me know, did you have any of these? Would you have chosen 5 different ones? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. So toy number 1 is the Castle Grayskull playset. I wasn't born when He-Man and Masters of the Universe first came out, but my older cousin had all of the He-Man toys and he passed a lot of them down to me when he got a bit older and he didn't want to play with them anymore. So I had a bunch of He-Man Masters of the Universe toys back then. It was probably early 1990s, and they were my first actual action figures as such. Toys before that I played with like Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, and that was something that I loved when I was really young. But my first real boy action figures, so to speak, were Masters of the Universe toys that my cousin gave to me. But I never ever had the Castle Grayskull playset, and it's something that I really want. I know there's the new version out now, and I've already got a couple of the new Masters of the Universe Origins toys, but I need to go back and I need to get those original versions. And a collection like that wouldn't be complete without Castle Grayskull, right? Toy number 2 is a strange one and one that you'll probably be surprised about, and it's really weird. But it's something that I didn't have as a kid once again. And it's something that all my friends had and I didn't have this particular one. And it is Doink the Clown, the Hasbro wrestling figure. I had a whole bunch of Hasbro wrestling figures. I was huge on wrestling when I was a kid. And still to this day, I watch a lot of AEW and things like that and still have a bunch of wrestling figures, more modern ones. But Doink the Clown was a really unique wrestling figure in that Hasbro era with the hair and it's a clown, right? It was completely unique, completely different to all of the other ones that I had, and I never actually owned it. A bunch of my buddies had it, and whenever I used to go and visit their houses and we would play with the wrestling figures, I always wanted to play with Doink, because it was just so cool and I didn't have one at home, right? And I'm sure you guys had experiences like that too, where your friends had a toy and you didn't have it and you wanted to go around there and play with it all the time. I remember that happening with the NES when my buddy first got one and I didn't have one yet, and all I wanted to do was go around his house and play on his NES, right? I didn't want to do anything else in my time ever. But yeah, Doink the Clown, a weird one, but I need that. So the third toy that I want in my collection once again is the real Ghostbusters Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It was big, it was squishy, it was completely unique. I loved Ghostbusters. Again, all these toy lines and cartoons and movies and stuff back then. If you were a kid my age, that was all you cared about, right? But the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was one that I did have, and I squished it until it was falling apart. I really want to build a real Ghostbusters collection. Another little honorable mention there is the Egon in the spacesuit, and he's got the little green tentacles coming out, and his hair goes up when you press it. There are toys I have massively fond memories of playing with, but the Marshmallow Man is the iconic one, right? And I need that back in my collection. 4th on the list is Thundercats, and it is the Mum-Ra figure, not the hunched over, although I want that too, the hunched over red robe Mum-Ra. The big almighty headdress Mum-Ra with the light up eyes. You remember that? Because I sure do. And I can remember this again was a figure that I had a bunch of Thundercats figures. I had all of the main Thundercats. I had the tank. I had almost everything. I had Wily Kit, Wily Cat, all of those, right? The Mumra, I can't remember where I got it from, but I didn't get it new, if I remember rightly. And so I never knew that the eyes lit up. And I can remember you had that little reddy orangey ring thing, right? With a little metallic contact on that you put into the back of the Mumra and it made the eyes light up. I must have acquired some like second-hand Thundercats figures, whether they were from like a car boot sale or from a friend or from a relative or something like that. And I have a distinct memory of putting that little ring thing onto the back of Mumra and realizing his eyes lit up, and I was like amazed. That was like the coolest thing I'd ever come across in my life. And then there was the Lino that did it too, and whoa, it was like mind blown, right? So yeah, that, but the Mumra in particular, that was the first one I remember. And there's just something about that moment, like having that memory. I need to get it back and I need it soon. And if I can find one that still works and it still lights up, that would be amazing, right? I don't know, I haven't researched that. I don't know if there's many of them out there that still work, but if I can find one that does, I'll be really happy. And then the final one on the list, toy number 5, is, again, perhaps a strange one. Massive Turtles fan when I was a kid, obviously in that era. Who wasn't? In fact, here's me as a kid in a weird, like, bootleg Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shorts and t-shirt, like tracksuity type weird thing. But yeah, Turtles was the thing, right? That was like, for me, Turtles was the big one. It was the one that I had the most of. It was the one that I watched on TV the most. I had the Turtles How It All Began VHS of the animated series, and I watched that over and over and over and over and over and over again. One particular Turtles toy stands out to me, and it was, obviously I'm in the UK, and to this day, toy collectors or collectors of anything will know that we tend to get things here a lot later than what they do in the US, right? So cue the time my dad went on a trip to the US and me and my brothers stayed at home, and he came back and he came bearing gifts, and he brought me the Leonardo Samurai figure. It was from like 1990 or something, I think was the original release date. I know because I actually accidentally bought 2 on eBay today. You know when you like put a 99p bid on something randomly, and then like you make an offer for the same thing from a different seller, and then the offer gets accepted, your bid wins, and you end up with 2? That happens. So they're on their way. So this one will be in my collection soon. But Samurai Leonardo, I need to get a complete one. I'd love to have one still in the package. The ones I've got on eBay just to get them were just loose with no accessories. But he brought me back that particular Leonardo and the disguised Donatello, where he has the overcoat and the hat. This was my turn to be the one that had the toy everyone wanted, right? So I don't know, obviously there was no internet then, we couldn't search things up. Like, it was, you went to Toys R Us, and if you found a toy, that was what they had, right? So I don't know the dates and how they line up, but all I know is I had these 2 Turtles toys, and the like Leonardo, Michelangelo were always my favorites. So the Leo one was the one that I really like latched onto. But I had this Leonardo toy that nobody else in my town had ever even seen before, let alone owned. And it, like I said, I had buddies who had the blimp and I never had it. Another thing that I could add to this list, there's so much stuff, right? But this time it was my turn to be the one who had something that nobody else had, and all my friends were jealous of me, and I was super happy that I had this cool Samurai Leonardo with the like shell shield and everything, right? And it was just a super cool toy, something totally different, and I was the only person I knew that had it. Same for the Donatello too, but I think the Leo wins out there. The Donatello was super cool. He had a little briefcase if I remember rightly. But that Leonardo, that is the one that I say is probably my most wanted one that I have the most fondest memories of. And it's probably purely just because everyone else was jealous of it, right? So there you have it, people. The 5 vintage toys that I want the most in my collection. Like I say, let me know about yours, and if you had any of those, if you have any of those, and any advice on picking those up. Is there things I should be looking out for, particularly that Mumra with the light up eyes, right? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. please do hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. There's going to be a whole bunch of toy related videos coming up soon. Like I say, I've got some new stuff, I'll be getting some old stuff, and it's literally just a quest to... I've got a collection of things behind me, right? Particularly I've got a lot of vintage Pokemon stuff. I've got vintage Pokemon toys that are sealed and things like that. But the toys from my absolute younger years, if that makes sense, I don't really have any anymore, apart from like newer versions of them. So that is the mission on this channel, and I hope you come along for the ride with me. Thank you for watching, people. Stay awesome, and I'll see you all really soon on the Toys Not Trash YouTube channel.